Hey, Nikki Brown here. No matter where you are, no matter what part of the world you're in, I hope that you're having a good day. So, I did a quick reading on myself, and my question was, am I on the right path? And this was the first card that came out, the Knight of Pentacles. And this is a yes. Okay? So, I'm being productive and responsible. And so that is starting to work in my favor. And I said, is there anything else that I need to know? I need to relax. I need to meditate more. I often do some form of meditation because I learned that you can do walking meditations. But sometimes it's best if you just allow yourself that quiet time and you go a little bit deeper. Okay, I have, again, my question was, is there anything else I need to know? I have to make a difficult decision and weigh my options. I don't know if you can hear the background noise. Okay, so I need to make a difficult decision and weigh my options. And so I asked, what are my options? And Queen of Pentacles came out. One of my options is to become the Queen of Pentacles. No, I was still asking, do I need to know anything else? Sorry. What I needed to know is that I'm a Queen of Pentacles and I can manifest the stability just with some practical things and become more nurturing. Which when I do a video, I am being nurturing to the community, the global community that I am to reach, right? But I'll be able to also provide financially. Then I asked, what I need to do, or what are my options? And the star came out, right? What are my options? My options are to become the star, right? To continue to manifest, to continue to help people, to continue to serve the community so that we all benefit. So this is a good sign to stay on my purpose, to stay on my path. And I'm an Aquarius, and Aquarius is the star card, right? So we pour out knowledge. And this is one of the things that I do. I am pouring out knowledge based on the things that I've learned and I've experienced over the years, right? And then, as I continue to do that, I know that I will see the fruits of my labor as this Nine of Pentacles, right? This helps to achieve financial independence. This helps to achieve self-sufficiency. And it's not about material things, although that's what most of us have been taught to strive for. It's not necessarily about that. It's about having the freedom and options, right? It's about freedom and options. It's not about the material things, because again, I'm here to help others to become the best version of themselves. And then by becoming the best version of myself, I am helping others by teaching you the things that I've done to get there, to achieve that goal, right? I talked about last night, writing down basically your limiting beliefs on one side and your gratitude on the other side, a gratitude statement. So how can you change this belief, this thought, to make it something that you're grateful and thankful for? These are things that help you to change your life and to change the way that you're thinking. Because when you change the way that you're thinking, your life is going to follow. You have to be in alignment with your goals and what you want to manifest, what you desire. And then it comes to you. But if you push it away by saying things, and a lot of times we say things that have been projected onto us from other people because of their, missteps or their perceived failures or insecurities. And they say, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that, or money doesn't grow on trees. Or I know someone in my life said, oh, well, she got a letter of education, but she still don't have no job. And this was when I basically first graduated, and it was challenging. And so although that was not my thought, because I was told about that thought and that thought was put into my head, when that interview doesn't go well, that thought pops up, right? Not all the time, but that thought has popped up. Because it becomes a part of your psyche. It gets embedded into your subconscious mind. So you have to change your subconscious mind with your thoughts. Record yourself saying the things that you are grateful for, right? Listen to them upon rising. Listen to them up before going to bed. This will help to change that mindset. Even if you can listen to them while you're sleeping. I have recorded myself saying affirmations. I am enough. And so now, I am enough, I am worthy. I know all these things, right? However, there's still more work to do, obviously, right? So I've seen a lot of change. I've manifested a lot of things. I know that these things work. And, I've manifested money, and in the way that I manifested it, it was like just enough to take care of the things that I needed to take care of at the time. And so in doing that again, it has to be done a different way if you want a different result. You don't want it to manifest enough just for you to spend at that time, just to cover those bills at that time, right? We want to go above and beyond that and manifest things that we can turn into other things that we can use to invest in a business, invest in the stock market, invest in ourselves to become and have the things that we want. And we cannot do that from a place of neediness or desperation, right? We have to relax. And that's one of the things that came out in the cards. To relax, to meditate, to not feel so anxious about it. I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this to happen, I need this to change. It stays away when we behave out of neediness or desperation, right? It doesn't come, it may come, but it'll come say you need to pay a bill. Let's say, you need to pay your cell phone bill and it's $50. You might find $50 on the ground, but that's it, right? And maybe you also needed food, but you didn't find because you just said, and the way that we say things out of our mouth is how it makes it happen. Oh, I need $50 to pay my phone bill. You're feeling it. You're feeling it so deeply within yourself because you need to go on social media. You need to talk to people. That's how your mind is working, right? And so it's like, oh, I need to do this and I need to do that. And so, yeah, you'll get that. You'll get, oh, I need to eat something today. You'll get the money that you need for food, or somebody will feed you, right? But that's all you'll get. But if you have that feeling and desire for something more, you have to strive for the something more so that you can actually thrive and get out of survival mode. We have to get out of survival mode. And that is one of the things that I'm learning through this process. It's not about just surviving. It's not just about getting enough to last you for this period of time, to pay this bill, to go on this trip. It's not about that. It's deeper than that. It's more than that. If you want more than that. And I know that some people are comfortable with where they are. And that's fine too. But if you actually want more, you have to start working towards striving for more and building more in your life. And I've been saying this for years. One of the things that I've done to get those things is to meditate, right? But again, I didn't realize at that time that I was asking for just enough. I've manifested as much as $40,000, but it was just enough to cover what I needed to cover. And once all the bills were paid, it's like, okay, it was like once the bills were paid, I bought stuff from my business thinking that it would bring more into my business, but I still had a lack and poverty mindset. That's why things weren't coming to my business, because I kept saying that, oh, Black people don't support each other. I believed that. So because I believed that so deeply, I kept the money away from my business. I hope that this makes sense. Right? I kept saying, oh, I make stuff all the time and people order stuff and then they don't pay for it or they don't buy it. I was manifesting that. Right? So also, although I manifested the funds to build the business with the products, I was still keeping the money away. Even when I told somebody about my business, because I didn't say it with such enthusiasm, they didn't pay attention to me. Right? And then, you know what's funny? I have a very funny story. Someone of another nationality came to the job that I was on selling the exact same products that I had. And she was like, oh, I have mixed kids and this is what I use for their hair. She was lying. Right? Now, when I came to the job, I also told them that I made products. But because she was another nationality, right, and because she claimed to have mixed kids and, oh, this will help you grow your hair and blah, 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 they said, oh, I'm going to buy from her. And they bought from her. They bought nothing from me. Then when it was all said and done and they realized that she was lying, it was like, oh, why didn't you tell us that I had a business? I didn't open my mouth. Somebody else said she did tell us. Right? And because at that point, I'm working so much, whatever you focus on grows. Right? And so because, again, I'm still in this poverty mindset, it's very challenging to focus on a full-time job, especially when you're working split shifts. I was working split shifts just to get enough to pay these bills, right? Which still wasn't enough, right? And so this keeps you in that not enough, that lack mindset. And so you're just on a hamster wheel because you still have the same mindset. The mindset hasn't changed, right? And so it's like, I don't have time. I don't have time to focus on a full-time. That is very challenging. Now, when I was just focusing on my business, I was doing vending events. I was selling more. I was attracting more people to my Etsy page. But because now my focus has shifted to a full-time job, it's not easy to, oh, I got to make sure I wash my uniforms. Oh, I got to make sure I bring lunch. I have to make sure that, you know, I clean up this or do that before I go into work. Because everything now is focused around this job. So then when it comes to business, by the time I get off work, again, I've worked a double shift. So I'm back and forth, hustle and bustle to get to work, having to be there at 4 o'clock in the morning. So then by the time I get off at sometimes 8 o'clock in the evening, after being up at 2 o'clock in the morning to make sure that I'm on time for 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm exhausted. So the idea of making products, which takes time, sometimes I would neglect it. And somebody may have placed an order and I may start making the order, but I may not finish because, again, these things take time and I don't want to rush it. And I don't want to put this rushed, anxious energy into it because the time, I 14 when I said that, the times that I've done that, it didn't turn out right. Because I don't have the right, I'm not doing it with love at this point. I like to make my products with love where I can really take my time and put my good energy into making the product. I don't want to put rushed, anxious, oh my God, I gotta hurry up energy into making products. I don't like it. It's, again, I'm not making it with love. And one of the things that I pride myself on is handmade with love. right? And so then when I got to this new job, it's like I don't even tell people about the products. I saw somebody selling products yesterday, and he just put a very simple little label, and I'm sure that he makes money. Just a very simple label that says the name of the product, and they smell really good. And not to knock what he's doing, but I only use essential oils. I can tell that he uses fragrance oils, but again, most people are like, "Ooh, that smells so good." They're not thinking about the chemicals that are in some of the products that are used in terms of how fragrance oils are made. Because I understand I understand the science of it. I didn't just start making products. I did a lot of research, and I know the science of the things that I use and the knowledge behind what I'm using and how to use it, and all of these different things. Right? Whereas a lot of people who have the same type of business that I've had, they're only focused on the smell good of it. Let me put this stuff in, in a blender or whatever the case may be, mix it all together, make it smell good. People are going to buy it. And that's all they're focused on really is the sale. And they get those sales. Whereas I'm focusing on the natural properties of what I'm using and what it can do for the body. And so, again, I'm not knocking anybody else's business. And the things smell good. But the jars were... I'm very picky when it comes to certain things. There was product all on the outside of the jar, all on the lid of the jar. You can tell this person did not take their time and care. They just put this stuff in the jar. If they had the stuff on their hand, they still put it in the jar, screwed that lid on, and put the jar in the bag so that they can sell it. So again, you have product. When you go into a store, you don't have product oozing and, you got to wipe your hand off, And although it's from the product, and although the product smells good, so now you got everybody, now they're touching this product, because now you passing it around for people to smell it. And again, when they get done, they have to go wash their hands, because how many people have touched this? It has product on it. It got different people's hands on it. To me, that's unsanitary. I don't work that way. And again, I'm not knocking anybody. I just pay attention to the way people do things. And he had some great bags made. He had bags made with his personal name, his information. All of that stuff is great. And again, he's making his money. But for me, I choose to operate a little bit different. I was talking to one of the other guys at work. His wife sells cookies, and he was like, I know when people see that blue label, they know what they're getting. They know they're getting a good quality product. They're getting it in a Ziploc bag. They're getting it in a container, that has a seal on it. Those things are taking pride in your work. And there have been times where I had seals on my product, and there have been times where I didn't have a seal on my product. But the more pride you take into your work, the more people take you seriously. If you're just going around as like a street vendor, you're going to you'll make money, but this is not growth. And again, this is not me knocking him, but this is me acknowledging, like I learned that a long time ago. Right? It's about growth. If you want to grow your business and not just be a street vendor, but see, the mentality is, oh, I already have a good job. I just need a couple extra dollars, so let me sell this product. That's the mindset. The mindset is not of growth, like, oh, let me grow this business. It's just to sell a product. And there's a difference in the mentality, in the mindset. There's a difference. If your goal is to get to that 9 of Pentacles, that 10 of Pentacles, right? That complete wish fulfillment, where you're doing this for yourself. You're hiring other people, and you can just delegate responsibilities and go check on your business every once in a while. That's a different mindset. And so this is what I'm suggesting to you. And this is what I'm offering to help you with. Shift your mindset. Right? Even in my coaching business, it was like, even though at the time I was saying I am worthy, I am enough, right? And I'm now starting to embody that now. I didn't realize that I still had some fears and insecurities of being afraid to charge what I am worth. right? And although I learned about that, it's like, oh, well, I'm thinking about the people who I know only have a small amount of money, and, I want to help them, I want to coach them, but maybe that's not my customer. Maybe that's not my client. And it's like, if you want those clients who are going to come back and continue to pay, they expect you to charge them a certain amount. If it's too cheap, they don't want it because they feel that it does not have value. So when I'm selling my product for $12.50, because I'm like, oh, I want to be reasonable, I want to reach, certain people, whereas my clients that would pay $15 or $20, those are the people that I should have been marketing to and targeting, because they're like, oh, I know that I'm getting a good quality product. Although I have great reviews on my Etsy page and people know I offer a good quality product. Right? I still wasn't charging the value for that product because I had other people in my ear who are in a poverty mindset. Oh, that costs too much. You charge too much. I can't afford that. Right? And this adds to those limiting beliefs that we have. And then the cycle continues because we are not able to release them, let them go, and surrender them, and allow the universe to take over, or let God, if you say God, if you allow God to take over and bring in what we're supposed to have, as opposed to anxiously and nervously, oh, I got to do this, it has to be perfect, my YouTube channel has to be perfect. No, you are enough as you are, the way you are. Just show up. Right? That is the mentality, more of the mentality. That's not the exact mentality, but that's more of the mentality that we should have. Me showing up is good enough, right? As always, I love y'all, and I hope that this message was very helpful. I didn't even intend to be on here this long, but again, I hope this message was helpful. And as always, I love y'all. Mwah. Thank you for watching.